Hey everyone, today we're going to take a look at the X-pro controller for Godox, and I'm just going to give you a couple of very quick little hints and tips about how this operates. It's not a full tutorial or anything like that. The first one comes out of a search that I made for myself that took me longer to get to an answer than I'd liked. So I'm going to put it right up front in this video so that you get the information without a lot of hullabaloo. So that is, how do you put it into high-speed sync? So the first step is your light needs to be in high-speed sync mode. On this is the AD200, and down here in this bottom corner there's a little button. It's got like a little lightning bolt with an H on it. You basically just long press it and the little H with the bolt shows up right by your battery. It's ready for high-speed sync. All right, the second part is on the controller, and this is the one that I didn't find as intuitive. It's not too bad. I mean, basically the way the controller's set up, you have A, B, C, D, and E along the side, and those are the different groups of lights. So you can set up a whole bunch of lights on group A, another bank of lights on B, another bank on C, D, and E. In this particular case, I'm just going to show one light set up on group A. All right. When I go to the bottom, there's 4 buttons across the bottom, and the second one from the left, that's the high-speed sync button. It says sync, and so I should have discovered it a little easier, but it doesn't have the high-speed sync logo, and it doesn't have the little arrow with the H, so I actually didn't discover it automatically. But the way that you turn it on is you actually just long press it, and it will turn on the logo up by your battery in the top right-hand corner of the display screen on the controller. If it doesn't do that the first time you long press it, just do another long press and it'll toggle onto that. Once that is set, you're in high-speed sync. For anybody who's not familiar with high-speed sync, I will do another video that will go into why you would use high-speed sync and what it is. But the really fast version is it gives you the ability to go to a faster shutter speed. Say, for example, you're out in really bright light, but you want to shoot at f1.8. You want a wide open aperture to get that look that you want for a portrait. And you want to use fill flash. So you've already got too much light. You're adding light to it. And when you normally work with flash, the fastest that it will sync up is 1/200th of a second. And so the long story short is you end up with way too much light. You have to do something different. And high-speed sync is one of the ways that you can compensate for that. And you go to a much faster shutter speed, cuts down the amount of light that's getting into your camera sensor, and you get a proper exposure. I know that was like the fastest explanation ever. I will do a separate one that will go through exactly how to do a high-speed sync portrait outdoors someday when it's warmer. It's freezing out right now in Pennsylvania, so I'm not doing it today. So anyway, I'm going to do the second thing that I wanted to show you about this controller. It's a little tidbit that I found while I was looking for the high-speed sync information that I wanted, and I want to share it out because I think it's a very helpful little tool. All right, so the first thing I'm going to do is actually move my light over just a tad because I'm going to take a couple of pictures. Okay, so my light is positioned off to the side, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it into TTL mode. TTL stands for through the lens, and what it's doing is it's using the light meter inside your camera to tell the light how much light to use on your subject. In general, I don't use TTL. I use manual. I set the light exactly where I want it, and I don't let the computer tell me what it thinks a good exposure would be. But this little trick is actually a neat little thing. So when you set TTL, basically you pick your channel and then you use the mode button. The mode button toggles through 3 modes. 2 horizontal lines means that the light is turned off. The TTL is the next one in the cycle. That puts you into through the lens metering. And then the third one is an M, which is manual mode. So we're in TTL right now. And I think, let me make sure. No, I'm not. No, I am. All right, so I'm going to take a picture of my ball head. Using TTL, it put the light at a point where I was getting more illumination on the ball head than I wanted. And so as I look at it and I chimp on the back of my screen, It's got a few parts where the highlights are blinking as a highlight warning. If you blow out highlights, it means that you've put too much light on the sensor for it to have recorded any detail. That detail cannot be recovered. The most adept Photoshop user cannot recover it because that information is blown out to absolute white. So I need to pull it down a little bit. So here's where the little trick comes in. You use this TCM button down in the bottom right hand corner and you long press it. You just hold it. And it imports the information from the light that fired just a second ago. And it tells me that it fired that light at 1/32nd power. So 1/32nd power on my ball head was too much. And so I need to back off of that a little bit. The way you adjust it, you illuminate the channel that you're adjusting, just hit the button on the left, and then you use the spinning dial, and every turn to the left turns it down 1/3 of a stop. I'm going to turn it down an entire stop of light, so that's 3 clicks. Right? And obviously to the right, you're increasing light, but I needed to decrease it, so that's what I did. I'm going to take a repeat of that shot. Oh my goodness, a huge difference in the shot, and absolutely great. There's maybe 1 pixel is blinking just a tiny little bit on the rim of a silver highlight on something, but it's only like literally 1 pixel, so that's absolutely fine. So by using the TTL to basically get me in the right zip code, to the right area of brightness, I could then import the setting, adjust it a little bit for where I want, and then get the shot that I wanted. It's a really, really neat tool for finding your lighting setting, even though it's not perfect. Now, let's back up another step and talk about one other feature that I hadn't actually intended to, but you have exposure compensation settings for flash. You can actually set up your camera to say, you think that I need 3 stops of extra light from the flash. I'm telling you I only want 2 stops of extra light. So what that will do is actually tell the camera to always use a stop less than what it thinks you need in TTL mode. And so that, given this example that I just did, where I wanted to back off 1 setting, would actually put us right in the zip code. Now, like I mentioned, I don't use TTL a lot. I might set that and actually try it. If that works, it will speed up workflow a lot, because when I'm setting up to take a picture of a model, I'll do a TTL shot, I'll get my setting, and then check it out. I mean, that saves dialing in 2 or 3 different shots and checking on your lighting. So yeah, I'll actually experiment with that over the next couple weeks, and who knows, maybe I'll be back with another video to kind of go into that some more. Before I wrap up, I wanted to cover just a couple of quick things. If you're seeing this video in late 2018, which is when I'm uploading it, we have a buddy of mine and I he's a phenomenal photographer. We're both just outside of Philadelphia. We're going to do a lighting workshop that features all of the different lights from the Godox lineup and all the controllers for all the different camera brands. So you bring your camera and we will have multiple setups for lighting, and we'll start with like a little classroom session where we explain the theory behind it and talk about how things work and what they do. And then the rest of the day is going to be a 1-day intensive with models, and will basically help you get portfolio shots using absolutely amazing lighting on the human form. So it's all people photography. That workshop is on the 26th of January, and it is in North Wales, Pennsylvania, which is the suburb just north of Philly. So if you're anywhere in the Philadelphia greater area, or even the New York area, we'd love to have you that day. So I'll put a link to the information on that workshop down below. I think we have a corporate sponsor for that we'll be announcing within the next couple of days. Once that happens, I'll add that in the information below, because it's still not signed and sealed and delivered. So I'll just put it in writing down below when it happens. And the second thing is the ubiquitous, would you please like, subscribe, and share the video. Liking it really helps it show up a lot more for people who are searching for the topic that is in the title. Like I said, I spent a lot of time trying to find a video that just showed right how to go to high-speed sync. And I couldn't find one that was succinct and right to the point. So I'm thrilled to be able to offer that. I'd really appreciate the help in YouTube helping other people find the information quick. And then the subscription basically just lets you see when I've got new content out there. And I would absolutely love to add some subscribers to this, because I'd love to help get more helpful and useful information out to more people. So thank you very much. That's it for today, and I hope you have a great day.